All right, welcome to the Next Fitness Show. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Alexis Craig. Today is Friday. It is April 10th. We're here live doing this thing. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. We have a great show for you today, and we are going to talk a lot about what to do when you're sore. So, we'll get more to that in a bit. Also, coming up in the show, we have a move of the week. We have a stretch, mid-show stretch break, so you can actually get moving a little bit, stretch it out. We've got some announcements from the next fitness thing. And if you don't know what the next fitness thing is, this is your invitation to join us. We are a wellness platform. We are totally online. You can find us at thenextfitnessthing.com. You can find us on all the socials at the Next Fitness Thing. On TikTok, it's just Next Fitness Thing. But just saying. And I encourage you right now to push all the buttons. So push like on this video, subscribe to this channel, and if you're here live, please, please, please jump into the live chat and say hey so I know that you're actually here live. Otherwise, I just see you as a number and I don't really know who's here. So right now I can see that Aaron's here saying hello. Kelly is saying hiya. Donna D says hello. All right, awesome. Aaron says definitely timely and needed, right? Lisa B says good afternoon. All right, great to see you, Lisa B. Okay, so let's jump into it. Let's do the thing. So what we're talking about today is so you're sore. Now what? You are sore. Now what? Now, here's the thing. Being sore, I would love to hear how you feel about being sore. Are you sore right now? How does it feel? Does it hurt? Do you have like a feeling about it? I know for me, whenever I'm sore, I kind of feel proud. I like being sore, even though it kind of hurts. I actually really enjoy being sore. Um, Sometimes it so usually this is what happens when you're sore. It's like that you've done the way you build strength is you do some damage to your muscle and your muscles have to repair themselves. And when they repair themselves a little stronger than they previously were. So the soreness is kind of like the feeling of it being damaged. And then there's the whole repair process that happens afterward, right? Usually it takes a little while for you to feel sore after the workout. It doesn't usually happen right away. If you feel sore immediately when the workout happens, a lot of times that's actually could be, at least, let's say that. It could be an injury and not muscle soreness. So you might want to really notice that. But for most people, it takes like 24 hours. And if it's really, really, really bad, it could take longer. You got the DOMS, the delayed onset muscle soreness, and maybe that's like 48 hours or sometimes even 72 hours to onset with the muscle soreness. So let me know right now in the chat, are you sore and what day are you sore from, if you know? A lot of our members of the Next Fitness Thing are sore right now because we're having a strength challenge. And the strength challenge has been really, I don't want to say like intense, but that's sort of a word for it. Like we've been really putting in work with the strength challenge. So a lot of times when you're sore, it's because you're doing something new or you're doing more volume or you're doing something different than what you would usually do as part of your routine, right? So in the strength challenge, every day is a different movement. On Monday, we did push-ups. So I think a lot of people are sore from push-ups, like maybe chest or shoulders. People are sore from deadlifts. Hopefully you feel it in the backside of your legs and your glutes. And then we had side plank. I hope you're not sore from that. Maybe shoulders. Um, I don't think maybe your core would be sore from side plank if that you haven't been doing that very much. It's totally possible. I don't usually get sore from side plank, but that might just be me. Um, and then yesterday on Thursday, we did squats. So I have a feeling the squat soreness is probably setting in right around now. So it's a great thing to notice if your squat sore is quads, like fronts of your thighs, or if it's glutes. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Today in the strength challenge is overhead press. So that is like shoulders that you might be feeling over the weekend. All right, what's happening in the chat? Okay, mom says, I'm on the phone, the watch, and the TV. Nice. All right, cool. Thanks. That's great. Uh, let's see. Kelly says, take an Epsom salt bath. Yeah, I'd love to hear what your strategies are when you're sore. What works for you? Let's see. Donna D is saying you've been sore since day two. Perfect. Good. I'm glad to hear it, actually. As long as it's not an injury, I'm really glad to hear it. Megan is here. Welcome, Megan. Great to see you. You are definitely sore from everything. Awesome. Aaron says triceps were dead from push-ups. That's good. Hamstrings from deadlifts. Awesome. And squats will be coming soon. Good, good. Okay, the right places are getting sore for you. So I'm really glad to hear that. And Lisa B is saying, you're sore from PT. All right, that's great. And you're working on getting your strength back after a nerve transplant. Wow. With the goal of eventually getting back to running. Okay, cheering you on, Lisa B. That's amazing. Okay, so when it comes to being sore, let's talk all about it. Let's talk about all the things. So the first suggestion for what to do when you're sore is keep it moving. So I know I'm literally sore right now too with you. I've been doing the strength challenge, testing these workouts with you, and before you get them, I've been doing them so I can see how they go. Um, Keeping it moving is really important. The more that you keep it moving, it can help a lot. It can help make it more comfortable. It can help let your soreness maybe clear a little bit faster. I mean, the truth is, there's a lot of myths about what will make your soreness go away. Okay. And what your soreness really is your muscles being kind of damaged and then repairing themselves into stronger muscles. That's going to take a certain amount of time. So, all of these things that you might have heard, and we're going to address a lot of them today, are probably not going to make it go away. It's not going to make it happen faster necessarily. That's the truth. It's really not. But it might make it more comfortable in your body. And it might also affect your performance, and it might also affect your range of motion. So I would suggest, for one reason, keep it moving, because sometimes if you build some strength, afterward there's a tendency for your body to kind of tighten up. And so you want to keep it moving after you do intense strength training so that you can keep it loose, keep your fascia from tightening all around it, and also keep your muscles used to moving through the range of motion that they want to move through and not restricting the range of motion that you have access to. So I don't want to scare you. It's not like it's going to be extreme or anything, but I would definitely suggest keeping it moving. Also, increases your blood flow. So it's going to help more blood go to the muscles in question, and that may help the stiffness clear a little bit faster. Um, and it may make you get rid of soreness a little bit faster than just resting. So in general, keep it moving. I would say, though, that brings us to our next point, is if you are really sore, especially if you're really sore, you want to make sure that you go a little lighter. So that doesn't mean you have to go lighter on everything, but you're going lighter on the muscle groups that are sore. So if you are sore in your legs, then you don't really want to do like a maximum strength workout of your legs when they're already sore. If you're already sore in your shoulders, you don't want to be like pushing your shoulders to the limit while they're already sore. You want to go a little bit lighter than you would if you were fresh when you're sore, just to keep it safe, because your muscles are a little bit depleted and replenishing themselves, right? Um, you don't need to skip it completely. I would encourage you to do it. Just go a little bit lighter. Reduce your weight a little. Maybe you want to reduce the intensity a little bit. Maybe you want to do a few like less reps. So that's what I would suggest. That's also why we set the days in the strength challenge the way we did. We put push-ups on Monday and shoulders on Friday so that you have quite an opportunity in between to actually clear the upper body soreness in between. And then we put squats and deadlifts at least 48 hours off of each other, so that way the deadlifts are meant to really be like hamstrings and glutes in the back, and squats theoretically are too, but A lot of people are using quads in the squats, so it basically is going to make it so that you have a chance to at least have some recovery between one and the other. All right. So let me know. Are these things working for you? Are you doing these things? I want to hear it. I want to hear it. What are you actually doing for your soreness right now? All right. The next suggestion is to stretch. Now, here's the thing. The stretching is really to help it feel better. It is not going to make it repair faster. So the other thing I'll just say with stretching is you want to stretch in a way that feels good. And that's always true, right? You always want to stretch in a way that kind of feels good. It might be a little intense, but it's not like, ah, pain. You should not be stretching into ouchy pain ever, really. Although sometimes intensity kind of feels. Yeah, you got to learn how to tell the difference between those. Let's just say that. But if you're already sore, you need to be a little bit more careful, a little more mindful while you're stretching, especially if you really, really, really taxed your muscle. You do want to stretch it and you do want to, like, kind of, if it feels good to do it, great. And just be careful with stretching. You don't want to like overdo it, thinking if I push the stretch to the limit, then it's going to make my soreness go away. It's really not going to work like that. And your muscle's already in a little bit of a compromised state when it's sore. So maybe be a little extra careful. Okay. What's happening in the chat? Aaron is saying, you love the massage gun. Yeah, totally. We'll get there too. Cool. I love that suggestion, the massage gun. Oh, that's actually a perfect segue. The next thing I'm going to suggest is roll. Now, a lot of these things, I know you already know this, a lot of these, but I'm kind of reminding you, and I'm also just helping to manage your expectations about what's realistic to happen here. Now, a lot of people say, oh, you're going to foam roll because you're going to clear out the lactic acid, and that's actually not really real. The lactic acid generally clears within 24 hours after the workout, so you're not really, like, the lactic acid isn't actually the problem. What you're foam rolling, you're increasing the circulation, so you're bringing more blood to that place, so that may actually help it repair a little bit faster if you were kind of reminding your body, hey, there's this thing going on over here. You might want to give it some blood flow. It can be helpful in that way. Um, it may also reduce your perception of soreness. So foam rolling might help your body, especially this is what I've noticed. There's kind of a few different ways of soreness. One is that you have taxed the muscle and the muscle is sort of damaged and it needs to repair. That's what we've been talking about. There is actually a second version of soreness that is you have used the muscle, and often it's a muscle where maybe you haven't used it in a while, and it's like that muscle is firing because you said, hey, I want this muscle to fire. And it goes, oh, yeah, let's do it. And the muscle fires and then it's holding on really tight and it doesn't know how to let go. If that's what's going on for you, which might be true, the foam rolling then really helps because the foam rolling will be like, hey, don't you want to let go? And the muscle's like, oh, yeah, I want to let go. Foam rolling, generally, the pressure is the thing that helps. It's not the movement. So you're not like kneading it out, even though that feels good. And I'm not going to say not to do it. The pressure of holding the foam roller in the place where you really feel it and letting it sit there, even though it's uncomfortable for literally, it takes, especially if you're over 40, it tends to take 60 seconds plus to hold it in one place for it to release. So I would suggest sit there with the foam roller wherever you're sore and let it just sit there for a little longer than you might think. Okay. The other thing with the foam roller is it can be really helpful beforehand. So the foam roller is going to kind of release the muscle and let go. Now, this is, if you're going to foam roll before, I would suggest that you foam roll the opposite muscles that you're about to use. So like today in the strength challenge, we're training shoulders. I would not tell you to foam roll your shoulders before we train shoulders because it's going to make them release and then they're not going to want to fire as much. They're going to want to relax. But the opposite muscles of shoulders is lats. Lats go from your armpits all the way down to your lower back. So if you're someone who has shoulder mobility challenge, if it's really hard for you to reach your arms all the way up over your head, and if it's really challenging or painful for you to be able to like access shoulder mobility, then I would suggest foam roll your lats today. Maybe even like right before class or an hour within an hour before class. Let your help your lats to release before we start class, and that may help for you to be able to access the overhead press a little easier. Okay, I've been talking a lot. Anybody else have anything going on? All right, Aaron's bringing up the massage gun. Now, this is true of massage and massage gun. I put roll on here because it's something you can do yourself. If you would rather treat yourself to a massage and go get a massage and have somebody else help you to release, it's the same thing. It's myofascial release. Do it. Yeah, heck yeah. Um, and if you would rather use the massage gun, it's kind of like if you've never seen one, it basically it uh, it is a percussion instrument. It has like kind of a ball and it goes and you hold it in the place that's sore and it kind of palpates. Especially if you have a muscle that's holding on and doesn't want to let go, it can be really helpful that way. It will also help bring the blood flow. Remember that foam rolling is not for joints, it's for muscles. So you're not going to foam roll your knees, you're not foam rolling your elbows, you're not foam roll. I mean, you're not really looking to foam roll your spine. You can foam roll the muscles on the sides, but not the spine itself. It's not going to help, at least muscularly. So, okay. Now, moving on. What else we got? Roll it out. Okay. Now, this one is one where I think there's a lot of differing opinions. Heat and cold. Some people love to, when you're sore, put heat on it. Other people love when you're sore to put cold on it. And which one should you do? I would say with this, there's no wrong answer. Taking a cold plunge is a very trendy thing right now. So a lot of people are advocating for, I tried to put hot and cold in this photo, but going into a cold plunge is very popular. Have you tried it? I do it all the time. I jump in the freezing cold river by my house. It's just warmer than freezing. It's very cold. Um, Cold reduces inflammation. Cold has a number of other health benefits too, like it may turn your metabolism up a little bit because your body like wants to heat itself, so it starts everything turning on. The evidence that I've been seeing shows, and I got this especially from Dr. Stacy Sims. If you're not familiar with her, she has a whole YouTube channel. I would encourage you to check out all the things she talks about. She basically says for women, the cold plunge is not quite as beneficial as it is for men. Not to say it's not beneficial, but not as beneficial as it is for men. And women don't need to go in as cold of temperatures. So where for a man, they may get more benefit from being in a ice bath, like in ice. For a woman, in order to get those benefits, you don't necessarily have to be in ice. It can be a cooler shower. It can be, in a pool. It can be something that's colder than your body temperature, but it doesn't have to necessarily be freezing cold. What's happening in the chat? Aaron says Chinese medicine and acupuncturist says heat, but I usually prefer the cold. Right. So, okay, the heat will help your muscles to relax. So, if you have that tension going on that I was talking about, then the heat can help it to let go. It'll help it feel looser. So if heat helps you feel more comfortable, then I would say do that. And the thing I personally think is the most helpful is the hydrotherapy. So I learned this from my naturopath, and you really alternate hot and cold and hot and cold. You go back and forth. Maybe it looks like jumping in the hot tub, jumping in the pool, jumping in the hot tub, jumping in the pool. Maybe it looks like what we have in this video or this photo, which is you're in the hot tub and you go roll around in the snow. It's like Swedish sauna or something. Maybe you go in the sauna and then hose yourself off. And maybe you're in the shower and you are taking a hot shower and you turn it down to cold for as long as you can stand, and then you turn it up to hot and you keep going back and forth. So you acclimate to hot and then you acclimate to cold and you acclimate to hot and you acclimate to cold. Now, if you hear me talking about this and you're like, yeah, right, I'm never doing that. Sounds horrible. I would suggest just like start gentle. You don't have to go extreme freezing, for one. And two, maybe you can put part of your body in. One way that this really helps me is to do just feet. And so I like to have two foot tubs. One's hot water and one's cold water. And I put one foot in each, and then I switch them. Or you can put both in both if you want to, but I like the sensation of one foot in hot and one in cold because then it kind of makes it so that as long as one foot's hot, the cold one can stand it a little bit more. That's what I like to do. All right, what's happening in here? All right, so, okay. So heat and cold, you got to kind of listen to what's going to work for you. I would say try both. Try them, see how it goes for you. Okay. The next suggestion kind of goes along with this. And this suggestion is to soak. How many people here love to soak when you're sore? This is my favorite thing. I love to soak when I'm sore. I like to soak anyway, but taking a bath can be really helpful. Part of it is the temperature. That's what we're already talking about, right? So part of it is just being in the warm can help to help you to relax. And this is the thing what Kelly was just bringing up. Kelly was just talking about taking an Epsom salt bath. All right, how do you feel about Epsom salt bath? Do you like it? I feel like when I first put the salts in, I'm always kind of like, gritty, but then it dissolves pretty quickly and it's nice. Um, I personally think the Epsom salt bath, I'm really curious how much of it is working from some chemical perspective and how much of it is just feels nice. But it generally has magnesium in it, and I know that a lot of times when I'm sore, if I use magnesium, it can help it feel a little bit more comfortable. So it may be that the magnesium is helping. It may be, I've heard people say that Epsom salt bath like leaches things out of your body through osmosis. Maybe. I don't know. I can't speak to that, to be honest. But lots of people swear by Epsom salt baths. Okay, now there's other things you can put in the bathtub besides Epsom salts that you might not even be thinking of. There are definitely just like general bath salts, and those are sort of similar to Epsom salts, but there are other kinds of bath salts you could use. Some people like to put like baking soda or oatmeal in the bathtub. Have you tried these things? I personally have usually done the oatmeal if I have like a rash or something. I haven't really done it for soreness. I haven't actually tried that, but curious if you have. I know it's soothing for your skin to do the oatmeal. Um, and I think that the oatmeal is supposed to be more just for comfort than actually for muscle recovery or something. The baking soda is supposed to soften your skin. I have not tried that. I'd be really curious. I usually put vinegar in the bathtub, so now I'm picturing myself like with a science experiment of baking soda and vinegar in the bathtub volcano. But the baking soda, if you know, let me know if that works for you. I've never tried it. I've never tried it. Mom is saying the bathtub bandit. Always thought you drowned or something when you were in there for so long. Good thing we had more than one bathroom, right? I'm notorious for being in the bathtub forever. It's true. It's true. Mom says too much tub cleanup afterward. It can be. The oatmeal, yeah, the oatmeal's tub cleanup. Epsom salts, at least for me, it goes down the drain. It's fine. Baking soda would probably go down the drain too. But oatmeal, yeah. And then the other thing in the bathtub is essential oils. Have you guys actually tried essential oils in the bathtub? I love this, especially I love doing lavender. Sometimes I'll do eucalyptus. Um, I have done sweet orange that it's kind of like brightening. I heard people say to do peppermint. Now, if you're really sore, the peppermint maybe would help. My experience of peppermint in bathtub, have you tried that? The peppermint in the bathtub, the water was so hot, and I put the peppermint essential oil in the bathtub, and I felt freezing. And it's like the water's hot, but I felt so cold because there's peppermint oil in the bathtub. So I wouldn't say I recommend peppermint oil in the bathtub, but you might like it. You might, especially if you need a way to feel like you're calming the inflammation. It could potentially have that effect. I'd love to hear your experience if you tried it. Okay, so that is the bathtub or the soaking. All right, the next suggestion, and I know that there's certain swear by this when you're sore, is topicals. What topicals have you tried when you're sore? What have you tried? I know that Tiger Balm has been really, really popular. Icy Hot is similar, maybe a little different consistency, but it's kind of the same medicine. BioFreeze is really popular. My parents love Voltaren gel. It's basically, so there's kind of a couple different things going on. The Icy Hot in my, and also the Tiger Balm, both of those are similar, where it's essentially menthol that's a cooling. And then, for example, like the Tiger Balm also has, I'm guessing it's like cayenne pepper, some kind of capsaicin in there. So it's like hot and cold at the same time. Herbally, you're getting the capsaicin that has the warming effect, and then you're getting the menthol that has the cooling effect, and you're getting both at the same time. Some people love the sensation and they really find a lot of relief from it. So I'm just reminding you, if you hadn't thought of that, you might want to try it. Voltaren works differently. So Voltaren, I think, is actually a name brand. It's essentially, I think it's like acetaminophen topical, if I'm not. I think that's what it is. But that's actually anti-inflammatory. So if you put that on wherever you're sore, it might allow the inflammation of the like muscle damage to reduce a little bit, and that might give you some relief. Um, just like how Tylenol kind of thing, acetaminophen works in other, it may not actually make you get better faster, but it may make you feel better faster. Yeah, let's see. Already Sharon B is in here saying, ooh, there was a, hold on, I need to read. There we go. There was a hemp's eucalyptus one that was awesome, but discontinued. Right. I would love to look that up. Maybe we can make it. I love making balm. Like I will say for myself, I infuse balms myself where I'm like infusing oils with herbs and that kind of thing at home. And a lot of those provide a lot of relief. And there are things that can help things heal faster, like if you put comfrey in the balm, or if you were to put arnica or something like that in the balm, it might make it heal a little bit faster. Um, but it's not like instantaneous or something. Let's see, what else? Mom says Voltaren. No smell and instantly relieves pain. Yeah, totally. So it is basically anti-inflammatory. Exactly. All right. Another thing that we definitely need to mention when we're talking about soreness, and I'm glad RD Sharon B is here, is to eat and to hydrate. These are actually crucial, and I probably should have put this first. These things, these basic things are crucial for you to make sure you do if you are, even if you're anticipating that you might be sore tomorrow. For one, make sure you're hydrated. Make sure you're hydrated. A lot of times your soreness is going to be exacerbated if you're dehydrated. And also it's really important that you actually have enough water in your body so everything can get to where it wants to go in order to heal. The other thing is make sure that you are well fueled. Eating like making sure your basics are solid, like you're eating enough protein and you're eating enough fiber and that kind of thing, and is more important than making sure you're taking all of these supplements. And this is generally true, but it's also true for soreness. Nailing the basics is more important than taking random supplements that might be helpful. And I'm sure RD Sharon B has even more to say about this and even more, like way more information than I do about it. But just saying, make sure, especially right after your workout, that you are fueled for repair. The class that I took from Stacy Sims, she said that for women, the most effective time after your strength training workout to eat protein, specifically for women, is within 30 minutes after your workout. I was shocked to hear that because I had always heard it's like 4 hours or something like that. Turns out the study on that, according to Stacy Sims, this the study on that was done on men, and that it's actually more important for women to eat protein after their workout faster, is what she says. Again, I'm not an expert in nutrition. Do your own research on that, but that's my understanding. Um, Donna D is saying, what are we looking at? Diclofenac. I don't know what that is. Mom says my bombs are so good and all of her friends love them. That's true. The bombs really work. Okay. Donna D, tell us more about what you're putting in the chat. I would love to know all about it. Okay, our next suggestion here is sleep, sleep, sleep. I know this sounds so basic, but it's so true. Your body needs to repair. When does your body repair? When you're sleeping. If you're sore, sleep. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. I'm serious. And especially if you know that you're going to do a hard workout, preload your sleep. You'll perform way better in your workout anyway. And after your hard workout, if you feel tired, good, sleep. Sleeping is probably the if I was gonna pick one thing here, this is probably the most important one. Make sure you sleep. It's really important. Um, and the other thing I just want to remind you with this is when it comes to healing from being sore, give it time. Give it time. There's nothing that you're gonna do that's going to make this instantly fix. And there's nothing to fix. This is actually a really healthy thing that's going on in your body when you're sore. It's good. Being sore is good. So give it some time. It won't hurt forever. And I will say, especially for those of you who are in the strength challenge, it's very unlikely that you're going to be as sore in week 2 as you were in week 1 because your body adapts. So, at least for me, for most of my personal training clients, the first time that I introduce something that's very challenging, it'll make them sore. And then the next week, when we revisit that same thing, a lot of times they feel really nervous to do it because it made them so sore the last time. And it's very uncommon to be sore again, at least as sore again. In order to be sore again, you would what it would take would probably be that you would have to increase the weight significantly or the number of reps significantly, or that you would do it in a much less stable environment. So for example, if you're doing something where you are doing it against the wall and then you're no longer doing it against the wall, something like that, then yeah, that might make you sore and it didn't before. But most of the time, it's not going to happen again and again and again and again. It's the first time is the worst. Just saying. Um, what's happening? RD Sharon B is agreeing with me. She says, absolutely, basics first. Right. The basics are more important than all of these little work in the details of the supplements. Like basics, basics, sleep, make sure you're eating food, like healthy food, sleep, water. Okay. I have one more thing to say about this, and this is honestly probably my favorite thing to share about being sore, which is being sore is an amazing opportunity to learn. I know that you may be cursing your trainer, You might be cursing me personally. You might be cursing your workout or your weights or whatever. You may be so just like, ah, I'm so sore. Oh. And at the same time, being sore is an amazing opportunity for you to learn more about how your body works. So if your glutes are sore and every time you feel your glutes being sore, it's most likely because you're using your glutes. So if your glutes are sore and you feel it when you get down on the toilet, when you get up, and you feel it when you climb up the stairs, and you feel like whenever you feel it, that's when you're using your glutes. If your shoulders are sore and you feel it when you reach over your head and you feel it when you reach behind you and you feel it when you lift your arm out, that's because that's when you're using that muscle. So it's awesome to learn your body through soreness. I actually find this to be so helpful in a body awareness perspective. Um, the other thing you learn by being sore is what muscles you were using in that exercise. Now, this is the thing I want to point out with the squat. Squats are meant to be mostly glutes, not really mostly quads. So if you're sore today or tomorrow from our squat workout and you're sore in the fronts of your thighs, then you learned that you have an opportunity to improve your form on squats and that you're using your quads or your body is quad dominant and there's a whole thing called gluteal amnesia. We could talk about that more another day, but it may be that your glutes don't even know how to fire in a squat. And so you have an opportunity to learn to turn your glutes on more. And even for me one time I was so sore. I think I did a 400-meter lunge walk. That's like one time around the track, right? 400-meter lunge walk holding like weight plates in my hands. Okay. I was so sore. That was the most sore I've ever been in my life. I was so sore. I could barely walk. I was so sore. And my quads were dead. There was no, I could not even use my quads at all. I'm not suggesting anybody gets to this point. I would never have you do that. This was like a long time ago, training with someone else. Okay. Because my quads were basically not available, I had to use my glutes. The only way I could walk was if I used my glutes because there was no quads to even call on. And so it taught me how to access my glutes because my quads were just done. So I don't intend to bring you to that place ever, honestly. But it did serve me to be sore. And a lot of soreness and managing soreness is about your attitude. So I would not avoid being sore. I would not try to make sure you don't get sore. Um, Embrace it and be kind of proud of it. You earned that. It doesn't mean like that your workout isn't working if you don't get sore. And if you do get sore, it is indicating that your workout is doing something. So it's indicating you're building strength. It's indicating that you're breaking down muscles, so they're going to build back even stronger. So I would encourage you to embrace it. All right. And that said, if you have any other soreness tips, please drop them in the chat. I want to hear all about it. And it is time for our mid-show stretch break. All right, it is the stretch break. So, what is happening in the stretch break today? Here is the stretch break. Oh, I need to close this down so you can see it. There it is. The stretch break this is lat roll. We were talking about this earlier. If you're coming to the overhead press class today, that's why I'm presencing this for you. So the lat roll is your lats are latissimus dorsi. Your lats go from your armpit to your lower back. Now you can see Veronica here. She has the foam roller underneath her armpit. Now, to be honest with you, Veronica's moving around a lot. When I do this, I don't move at all. This hurts so much. I shouldn't say hurt. It's very intense. It's very intense for me. That may not be true for you. Um, I have developed lats. Maybe it's more intense for me because I do. But anyway, your lats being tight will impede your shoulder mobility. So releasing your lats before you do an overhead with your shoulders is very, 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 very helpful. You can just lay on the foam roller in this place. You don't have to roll up and down and up and down. And a lot of times with foam rolling, we want to do cross friction. Cross friction is like if the muscle fiber goes up and down, you would rock forward and forward and back across the muscle fibers. Another thing that you can do when you're rolling your lats is like move your arm. So move your arm so that you can feel the muscle stretching and pulling and stretching. So feel free with the foam roller in that position to actually move your arm or whatever muscle is being rolled. Again, I'm going to show this one more time. I really encourage you, those of you who have shoulders that are a little bit iffy, I encourage you to do this as a regular practice, for one. And two, if you're showing up to that shoulder press class today, this one for sure. Okay. Now, this you could also do with the wall. If you don't want to get on the ground, you could do this on you could put the foam roller on a table and kind of lean over it if you can get that to work. It depends how much weight your table's going to bear. You could also put the foam roller on the wall and lean against it. So if you don't want to get all the way on the floor, or if you're not able to get all the way on the floor, then that's what that one's for. On the wall works. Yep. Can I show it for non-floor? Yeah, exactly. Let's just pretend this water bottle is the foam roller. You're basically going to put this under your arm and you're going to lean on the wall. That's what's going to happen. It's on like the meaty part of your body, and your lat technically is a little bit to the back. So it's not like the side boob, it's really a little bit more in the back. Okay. That's what I suggest you try. It might take a little bit of working it out to figure out how to get into the position, especially with the wall, but try it. Okay, and with that, we are going into our next. The time has come for today's move of the week. All right, today's move of the week, I'm going to show a progression as the move of the week. And this is also what the move is for today's strength challenge class. So the move of the week today is shoulder press. All right, this is it, shoulder press. You press up over your head and bring it back down. There are a few things I think it's a great opportunity for me to actually present this before we get to the strength challenge so we could talk about a couple things here. For one, you can see how Mary Beth has her palms facing in toward one another. I think that's a really good practice, especially for people who have shoulder issues. The safest position for the shoulder press is to keep your elbows in tight at the bottom and your palms facing one another at the top. So let me say that again. The safest position for the shoulder press, I'm not saying it's the only one of benefit, but if you have tricky shoulders, the safest way is elbows in tight at the bottom, palms face one another, and at the top, your palms still face one another. That's the safest. As soon as you start bringing your arms out, it's not incorrect. It's just more of a compromised position for your shoulder, where if you have shoulder issues, it may activate rotator kind of stuff. So keeping shoulders in, straight up, straight down, palms face one another the whole time. That's what I would suggest. The other thing I'm going to say with the shoulder press is that you can see this is a strict shoulder press, meaning there's no bouncing. It's just press it straight up, bring it straight down. Yep. Neutral spine. A lot of people have a tendency to stick your head out in the front or arch your back. So just be sure that you're keeping everything neutral. All right, now I want to show you this next piece. This is called a push press. Push press. It's a little dip, and then you drive with your legs and your glutes to get the weight over your head. A push press is what you do when your shoulders are done. So if you've been doing shoulder press and you're kind of out of gas, you do the push press. The push press makes it so that you can get the weight over your head even when, and also the push press is really helpful for helping you to progress to a heavier weight. So with a push press, let's say you've been doing 10 pounds on the shoulder press and you think you want to move up to 12s, and you are not really sure if you can manage the 12s or not, but you want to try it, then what I would suggest with that is do the push press with the 12s first. You give it a little dip, you drive it with your legs, and you get that momentum to help push the weight up, and you control it on the way down. That way, you know you can manage the 12-pound weights. This is the baby step to get to the 12-pound shoulder press. This is push press. Okay, now there's a third piece of this, and this is even more, even deeper with this, which is thrusters. So you can see Rosie here, she's doing the full squat, the full overhead press, the full squat, the full overhead press. Now, with thrusters, it's more work, more work. You may be able to go even heavier with thrusters because you're getting the full-on glute and you get momentum all the way from the bottom of the squat, all the way from the bottom of the squat, all the way to triple extension. And just saying that this is usually if I put this into the program, I want you to get your cardio up. It's not just strength. I'm wanting you to actually get your heart rate up along with it. And it's not strictly strength that I'm asking you for. I will also put thrusters in as a way to include glutes too, instead of just shoulders. So let's go through these one more time just so you can see the difference. And maybe I can pull all three at the same time. Let's see if I can do that. Let's see, I'm going to put all three of these together. It's not going to look super clean, but there, maybe I can make it a little cleaner. Shoulder press, push press, and thrusters. Here we go, all three of them together. Okay, let's do that. We're going to, let's see, try this. Portion of screen. That didn't work. All right, let's try it like this. You're going to see my desktop a little bit, but that's okay. Here we go. Let's try it like this. You can see all three at the same time. Here's all three. You can see on the left here, we have the shoulder press, no hip drive. In the middle here, we have the push press. It's a little dip and a little drive. And on the right, we have full-on thrusters, full squat all the way up, full squat all the way up. All right, that's what I wanted you to see. Okay, cool. All right, that's it. And if you have any questions on any of those moves, those are ones we're going to work in the overhead pressing, which is today. So see you there. Not all three today, but all three in the challenge. Okay. Mom says that when she tries to do the lat roll that it is the foam roller keeps falling in the ground. Yeah, yeah, I hear you. That's the thing. It's true. It's true. Oh, you get extra squats. I like your attitude. Okay, moving on. Here's what else we have. If you hear us talking about the strength challenge and you're getting FOMO, then good, join us. It's not too late. The strength challenge started on Monday. All these classes are on demand. So if you want to, you could join now and start with next week if you want to. You could join now and do them all on demand if you want to. So feel free to join the strength challenge, even if you're just joining now. You will keep access to this. So I'm not going to cut off access to it after this challenge is over. You're going to keep the recording. So you can even do the whole thing again if you wanted to. And you get a personalized training journal where you can write down how many reps and how much weight you're using so that you can track your progress along the way too. So, Donna D really likes the 3 videos side by side. Good. Okay, cool. I'm glad. I'm really enjoying the strength challenge and it's been really fun for me and I hope that you guys are having fun with it too. Keep filling out your training journal. I can see it during class, so especially for next week, it's really going to help me to be able to look and see what you did this week when we're in that same class for next week. Okay, moving on. Our next announcement, oops, what happened? Our next announcement. Oh, I clicked on it. That's what happened. Okay. Give me a second to fix this right here. What the heck? All right, there we go. We got it. We got it. We got it together. It's one thing when you're the talent and the producer at the same time. Here it is. Our next announcement is the True Crime Walk is this weekend. So last weekend was Easter weekend and Anna took the day off. So if you love True Crime Walk, this weekend is your chance. P.S. Saturday Melissa's teaching, so I encourage you to come to her classes too. They're gonna be great. Anyway, Sunday, Anna, True Crime Walk. If you want some details or a little teaser on what this week's True Crime Walk, sign up for class from there. If you're not an X Fitness Thing member and you want to check this out, you can join just this class without any membership for $5. Just one class, $5. So if you're interested in that, or if you have a friend you want to refer to this to be like, check this out. The idea is that you go for a walk while you learn about a true crime case. All right. Our next announcement is Earth Day Plogging. This is my favorite community event. This is next Saturday, so not tomorrow, a week from tomorrow, April 18th. It's pick up trash while you go for a walk, and it's 40 minutes. So I'm going to be leading this. It's going to be so fun. So come to True Crime Walk next Saturday. Bring your trash bag, bring your gloves, any other gear you might need. We will have awards for like the most weird trash, the biggest haul, like all those kinds of things. So come to class and be ready to pick up some trash. You may even want to kind of think about like where's going to be a good spot that will actually have a bunch of trash. Pick somewhere good. All right, and then book club is the very next day. So not this Sunday, but next is book club. This one's coming up quick. So if you didn't start reading this book, Edie said this book is fantastic. I haven't started yet, but I'm about to listen to the audiobook starting tomorrow. So check it out. It's called The Secret Book Society by Madeline Martin, and I'm really looking forward to this one. All right. If you want more information on our walking book club, you go to thenextfitnessthing.com/book club. All right. If you're not in the Discord, join. If you're in the strength challenge and you're not in the Discord, you got to get in there because that's where all of the conversation's happening. So get in the Discord. And we have one more topic for today. This one is very specific for the soreness, and it is lacrosse ball. All right. Have you guys tried this? Have you tried doing myofascial release with a lacrosse ball? I honestly have a love-hate relationship with this. The lacrosse ball for skill building, for learning exactly where you're sore and being able to find the exact spot is great. It's fantastic. It's so good. And it really pinpoints it and it lets you get deeper in there. So, especially, I find the lacrosse ball particularly helpful for feet and for calves. Now, there's lots of fitness companies that have come out with like fake lacrosse balls, and that's fine. So it doesn't have to be a lacrosse ball you play lacrosse with, but those work really well. And they work so well that now you can buy all of these random balls that are imitating a lacrosse ball. Some of them have spikes or whatever. Erin says she does it all the time. Mom wants to know if it's the vibration ball. No, but the vibration ball is also awesome. I will say though, the vibration ball is like this big, and the lacrosse ball is like this big. It's smaller than a tennis ball. tennis balls totally work too. You could use a tennis ball. I actually usually actually use a tennis ball just because it's easier to find a tennis ball. Like I have a tennis ball at my house. I do have a lacrosse ball, but I only have one where I have like tennis balls. So, if you have a dog and they love the ball, you might want to make sure you keep this one separate, just saying. But what you do is you use it like a foam roller, but it's much smaller. So you can put it into the place where you really want to get there and it'll go deep because it's so small. Like to use it on my feet and my calves. I find, especially in the calves, the place that's sore in my calves is so deep in there that it really, really works to use the lacrosse ball. If you do have a massage gun, the massage gun is like a lacrosse ball vibrating hard. So you could use that too. Same idea. Donna D says tennis ball. Totally, totally. Tennis ball. Exactly. And some people like to use something even smaller. A lot of times I will use even like makeup and roll the bottom of my foot on something that's small, little cylinder marker. Especially on my heels to kind of get into that fascia. So you can use smaller items to get in deeper. So anyway, if you haven't tried it, I would definitely encourage it. Mom says gold ball. A gold ball? You're gonna use a ball of gold? Okay, good luck. Okay. All right. And that brings us to the end of the show. It was very fun to be in here. I know I rambled on a lot today, but it was really, really fun to talk about this. If you're not in the strength challenge, please join it. It's amazing. It's great. I'll see you guys later today, a couple hours for the strength challenge. And P.S. I added an extra brain teaser walk after the strength challenge. So if you want to come to the strength challenge and then go to the brain teaser walk, I will do different questions that I did this morning, so you will have a great opportunity to get your trivia on and to kind of work it out a little bit after you get your strength on. All right. Oh, golf balls, what mom's saying. Oh, golf balls so intense. All right, whatever you're into, if you like it, use it for sure. All right, team. I love you. Have a great week. I'll see you next week. We have a guest next week, so I'm really excited. It'll be fun. All right. Let's dance it out. Get out of here. Bye. Mom's challenging Donna D to more trivia. All right.